So today, I ask you to go down a path with me. Find that path. Could be by a river, a stream, in the forest, climbing a mountain. Find your path. Now that you've found it, ask yourself, where am I going? What am I seeking? As you're journeying on, you come across a space that is entangled and entwined with all kinds of weeds and growth and thorns and debris. Here is where I'm stopped. Here is where I need to look at this picture. Here is where I need to make a choice. I can maybe crawl under a little spot. I could walk away. I could just cut a small opening to walk through. Here, I am at choice. But think about this. What if you made the choice to clear it all? Can't be done in a day, maybe not even a week, not even a month. But what if, as you cleared all of these weeds and all this debris and all the thorns, you found your soul shining bright, enclosed in a beautiful garden of love. What if? So imagine with me, time is passing, flying 1 minute after another, 1 day after another, 1 week after another, and you begin to see the light. What does it look like? How do you see your soul in this beautiful garden of love? Does it speak to you? Can you feel it? Is it a color? Is it a shape? Is it you? So as we now go backwards in time to where you were stopped on your path, this is where you make the choice. What choice will you make? And as we slowly and very gently, in our own time, come back to this sacred, holy place. Remember what you saw and felt when you saw the beauty of who and what you are in the soul, surrounded by a garden of love. Yesterday was great because I could turn the air conditioner off and open the windows. And there is nothing like, I'm fortunate to have an east-west exposure. So the breeze off the lake goes running through, or the breeze off the river comes running in. But either way, I have curtains now in 2 rooms, and they blow in the breeze. And yeah, you're gonna have to take them down and wash them a lot because they'll get dirty, but that's okay. We don't mind. But in that, this morning, I was sitting outside, as I do when I wake up very early, just on my deck. And I was thinking, morning has broken. And I was thinking about that, and when I came back in, I had to go back and rewrite the beginning of my talk because it spoke to me, and ministers do that a lot. They do all this work, and then they decide, no, I'm not going in that direction today. So morning has broken is the song, like the first morning. So do you ever wonder then, what is the first morning? What exactly is that? Was it the first day of creation? Was it the day you were born? Was it the day that spirit wanted to know itself? And in order to know itself, it had to have this radiant energy, and it released a zillion souls. Was that what it meant when morning has broken? I personally believe that from the beginning of time, and no one really knows when that time was, but from the beginning of time, we were all created at once, at the soul level, by the Spirit of God. This is what I believe. So what is soul then? You know, this is the month of last 3 weeks, or last week and this week and next week, I'm speaking about soul. So what is it? And is it really possible to define what it is? We have words, so we have to use words to define something, and words, as they cannot define God, cannot really define spirit, cannot really define soul, but we have this thing called English language, so therefore we have to use words. And they describe it. But definitions are intellectual. They're in our head. Would you agree with that? Definitions come from our head. But I would rather think soul in images. As you went on your journey today and you went through all of that and you came to that beautiful garden, what was it? What was it that you saw? Was it a color? Was it your face? Was it antiquity? What was it that rose up in that beautiful garden of love for you? So the spirit then, the soul, is the spirit of the love of humanity. It's the center which is within, the center of universal spirit. And it's the seeds. It's the seeds of each human being. So the soul then is the mirror of the universe. So then your interpretation of what you're seeing out there in the universe is mirroring back to you your life. So you wake up in the morning and you go outside and you see the coolness and the sun and the blue skies and you think all is well with the world, then that is mirroring back to you, and then you send that back out, and it is all beautiful. I believe the soul is the essence of who we are. And in fact, it is. It's not skin and bones and muscles, but it's the heart, and it's the depth of being. It is the God self, and that's what we are. So we know about the soul, about intuition and the depth of feeling, like the soul of music. Haven't you ever said a person is an old soul? And my friend Rhonda, who you're going to get to meet in a couple of weeks, and don't all go staring at her hands now, but I've known Rhonda for 35 years, and when she was, when we were both young and beautiful and all of that, working together in the corporate world. But when I first met her, I noticed her hands, and they were so old. They were, and I look at this vibrant size 4, flaming redhead, full of energy and life abound. But her hands, they were like this, and they were of an old soul. And I thought, my God, she's such an old soul, and she is. And it's a feeling that we get when a person speaks. You ever meet a person, you go, I know you. I know you. I've met you before. I know you. That's that soul level. Or deeper wisdom. We look in somebody's eyes and we see that person is a person of wisdom. They know something I don't, and I want to know. Have you ever looked in the eyes of a child and think, already this child is smarter than I could ever be? You see something so strong in their eyes. It's absolutely amazing. And the soul has a quality or a dimension of experiencing life of ourselves, and it has to do with the depth of value, heart, personal substance. See, there's something within each one of us, and it partakes of the nature of the universe of wholeness. So if we go back to the Christ consciousness and know that the attributes of the Christ consciousness, love, joy, wisdom, light, beauty, peace, harmony, joy, I think I got them all. But when you go back to them, then you think of, this is God operating, or Christ operating within me. This is the wholeness of soul. You think of soul images. What are some of the soul images? Can you think of any? Soul food. We think about soul food. Art, sometimes you will look at a picture and you say, oh my God, that artist captured soul. He captured my soul in it. You think of beauty and heart and all of these things. So deep within us, then, there is this garden. Did any of you see a garden today? Were you able to get to that place in a minute? Some of you are shaking your head. A lot of you are shaking your head. Yeah, it's beautiful. And what happens is we get so busy, myself included. I'm always the first one to raise my hand, myself included, that we forget about the garden. And then the weeds grow up, and they're growing up in our mind. And our job, or our responsibility to the Creator then, is to keep the temple gates clear, to clear away all that is stopping us from being who and what we are. We forget to go in and tend to our own garden. One of the things Dr. Holmes used to say was the 11th commandment was, not that one, the 11th commandment was that mind your own business. Tend to our own gardens. Who am I, believe me, who am I to get involved in your garden and your weeds? Unless you invite me, that's a different thing. If you invite me, if you ask me. But if you don't, then I step back and I bless you and I wish you well. And that's what we need to do. So in the 15th century, there is this Massimo Ficino, and he stated this. So listen to this. This is really important. The mind tends to go off on its own so that it seems to have no relevance to the physical world. At the same time, the materialistic life can be so absorbent that we get caught up in it and we forget about spirituality. Does that make sense, what he's saying? So this is in the 15th century. So what we need, he said, is soul in the middle, holding together the mind and the body, ideas and life and the spirituality of the world. So if your soul in your picture was a billowing with all of these sparks around it, all these sparks are reaching for the different aspects of you and humanity. And how do we pull all that together, that in the soul, in the middle, holding together mind and body? So we're holding together our health. We're holding together our prosperity. We're holding together our love of humanity. We're holding together in letting go and letting God. Does that all make sense to you, what I'm saying? Okay, important. But isn't it interesting? This was written in the 15th century, So people must have been just absorbed in forgetting about what they were supposed to remember then as we are now. So I kind of like wonder, like, shouldn't we have found a better way by now? Shouldn't we? I think so. So to discover true inner peace, then we must move from the realm of effect and the outpicturing of ourselves and go back to first cause or cause, which is God. That's all it is. In the beginning there was God, first cause. And every time that we put something out into that universal mind, it comes back as the effect. So what are we putting out? What are we saying? What are we doing? You know, one of the things in public speaking is this, that your body and your face and the tonality of your voice all need to be saying the same thing. And that is the same thing of what I'm saying right now. You know, Emerson says that what you are speaks so loudly I can't hear a word you're saying. So it's the way that we're living, the way that we're speaking, the way that we're looking, all the same. Because that's what gives you integrity, and that's what gives you character. That's what gives you the depth of who you are. That's what makes you on the spiritual path of growing. So we need to discover then true inner peace. What does that mean? So we have to move sometimes out of the world of effect and go back to first cause, God's center. Call it what you will, but there is an intelligence in us, and it knows only love. It knows only love. God is love. What is love? God. Question and answer. That's what it is. So how do we do that? I have been doing this experiment this week. Another day I'll tell you about another funny experiment, but I was doing this experiment, and every time something was coming in my mind, in fact, I was going to ask Louis to add this to the list of songs. So every time something would jump in my mind, I'm going, happy talk, keep talking, happy talk about things you like to do. And I was cracking myself all week, but it started to work. And I'm going, Louis, we really got to sing that song. It's a good idea, you like? It's from South Pacific. Bloody Mary, it's from South Pacific. Bloody Mary sings it. So, yeah, I could do the whole thing. You should see me do Puerto Rico. No. So anyhow, it's something I need to sing. But anyhow, but that's what it's about. Can we find something? Remember, I don't know when it was, what guru or what mentality it was, but there was the rubber band thing, and if you think of it and then thought, or if you're going to eat something, you do rubber band. I think happy talk is much better to do that with. Or I do doe, a deer, a 3-meal deer, ray, a drop of golden sun. We have to start to enlighten up. And this has made me happy all week. And I mean, I couldn't get much happier. Somebody was saying at my house yesterday that sometimes they're so high that they're just up there in spirit. And I was thinking about that, and I was thinking, well, you know, sometimes you have to come down. But then I was thinking, and I said to that person, maybe you're just high on life. And wouldn't that be great if we were just all high on life? And I think that the reason we keep searching is perhaps because we're looking for love in all the wrong places. And what I mean by this is we're searching with the mind, with the intellect, instead of going with our hearts and soul. You know, logic says this, but my heart says this. So there's that 18-inch journey from the heart in the head to find the balance of what works and what's right. You know, when you're old and you're on your deathbed, you're not wishing that you took that job that would have given you the career boost you wanted. That's not what you're thinking. You're thinking, why did I not love that person who loved me? Why didn't I? Because I was too busy being in my head. So the spiritual journey, or then this soul searching, is the most important journey of our life. Would you agree with that? Those of you that are here in New Thought and Understanding, would you agree with that? This is our journey. This is our journey. And no one, including me or any other minister, rabbi, or priest, can tell you how to live your life. No one can tell you that. I don't know the secrets buried in your heart, and you don't know the secrets buried in my heart. But what I do know about this, until we're ready to allow them to come up, until we're willing to pull those annoying weeds. How many times is the ground really, really wet and there's a little weed and you just go like this and it comes right up, right? What about when there's been a drought and you haven't weeded for a while and those roots have gone down, 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 down like that, and you're trying to get it up and you just break it off? Okay, good enough, right? No. Because what happens? It comes up again, and that's what we do. It comes up again. So why not kill it? You know, the past isn't the past if you keep talking about it. It's your future. The past is not the past if you keep talking about it. You haven't healed it. You haven't let go of it. You haven't released it. You know, I have a story that goes, through my head about something that happened a year and a half ago, and it's like, get it out of your head. Happy talk, keep talking, happy talk. So you can have a relief from the burdens that you carry. It's the gift. It's the gift from the soul. It's the gift that's in there. Like, I wonder if, so we could open up and take the skin away, and then take the muscles away, and then take the organs away, and we just see this beautiful, shimmering self, the spark of divinity of who we were the day that creation released zillions of souls. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Think about that image. Everywhere I'm looking, I'm just seeing the light of each one of you, your soul. And that's what's beautiful. So I say, are you ready to start pulling weeds or digging them out or releasing them, getting rid of them? Are you ready to do that with me? Yeah? Hello? Hi, are you out there? Rodney loves it when I do that. Are you out there? He does. Oh my God. I'm telling you, when I get happy, I'm just like this. I can't help myself. So we begin to care for our soul then, or the essence of who we are, the innocence of who we were before this world began, and we feel encouraged to live our lives and blossom. My goal, minister's goal, rabbi's goals, priest's goals are to have people blossom into who and what they are, to see their life in a full potential. And to do that, we have to evolve to our own design. We have to know who and what we are, but to know that there is a predictability in the beauty of who you are. I don't know what your life is going to do, but the beauty, that can shine through in any minute. We have to take the emphasis off of fixing things. Let's stop fixing things, and let's start from right here, right now, with what we have. What do we have right now? You know, the only thing that I need to fix is I need to go home and make my bed. That's it for the day. I never make my bed on Sunday, by the way. Just let you know. But do you understand what I'm saying? How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I do this? How do I fix my mother, my brother, my sister, my brother, the church, the board, the congregation? How do I? I don't know. But here's what I know. I know where I am right now, and I know what I can do today in this very moment. And you know what you can do today, this very moment. And Louis knows what he can do in this very moment. Bring us great music, and we love it. We love it. Take the emphasis off what's wrong and put the emphasis on what's right, what's good, what's happy. Epicurus was a much misunderstood philosopher, and here's what he said. Because he believed that we should have simple pleasures in life. Oh my God, what a concept. He said it is never too early or too late to care for the well-being of your soul. Never too late, never too early. We can do it today. We can start right now. So here's what you know. You know when you're really paying attention to our soul and it's nagging you. Do you get those nagging feelings and you're not sure what they are, but you're being nagged? Something about feelings of emptiness, loneliness, meaningfulness, depression, yearning for fulfillment, yearning for love, a hunger for spirituality. So what this is called are soul complaints. These are your soul complaining to you. It's telling you to get off your butt and do something about it. It's that divine impress. It's God. It's intuition. It's your gut level saying something is not working right here and right now. These are soul complaints. The soul is not a thing. It's a voice. It's the voice within. You know that intuition that says turn right? You hear it, but you turn left anyhow, and you should have turned right? How many of you have done that? I've done that so many times. You'd think I would learn. I know. That's why I do this, so I could keep learning. So Rebecca West wrote this. It is the soul's duty to be loyal to its own desires. It must abandon itself to master its passion. The soul's desires, it's loyal to you. It's not something that you have to deserve or earn. It's already loyal to you. It's telling you. If you're lonely, join an organization. Go to the hospital and volunteer and hold babies that need to be held, AIDS babies. Read 1 day a week to children after school in your house. Do something that is fulfilling. If you love gardens, get with Annie and go visit beautiful gardens. She and the big guy go and they visit these beautiful gardens and they put them out. That fills their soul. What fills your soul? This group right here, music fills their soul. Do you ever hear when we do Surely the Presence, like we all sing it, and then the second verse, and this outpouring of harmony comes from here? That's their soul singing to us. And it's beautiful, and thank you for doing that. So there comes a point that we can't deny the impress, because if we do, then we bury. And listen to this. I love Emerson, and his favorite essay for me, my favorite essay is Selfreliance. And listen to what he says. There is a time in every man's education when he arrives at the conviction that envy is ignorance, imitation is suicide, that he must for himself take for better or worse his portion. What are we going to take? Are we going to take the good, or are we going to take the not so good? What are we going to take? And a little further down, he says, the power which resides in him is new in nature, and none but he knows that is which he can do, nor does he know until he tries. So what he's saying then is that we have to try. We have to look at it. Don't envy the guy next door. I wish I could sing like Vita, but I don't envy her. I don't envy her, but I wish I could sing like her, right? So it's, and then if I want to imitate, I decide that I really love Pam's personality, so I think I'm going to imitate her and be just like her. That's suicide. I love her personality, but I can't take that on. I have to be me. And that's what he's saying, is be yourself. Totally be yourself. That he must take himself for better or worse in his portion. So what I'm saying to you is it is time now. It is time for us to know that there's that power in us. We're given a myriad of thoughts every day. 60,000 a day we have thoughts. There are grand ideas in there. And I would suggest you start writing some of them down. Some of them are the possibility. Some of them are the possibilities of what you can do. I live on a fixed income. Not particularly unless you say you live on a fixed income. I'm too old to start something. Well, when did the lady Grandma Moses start painting? At 90 or something? I don't know. I'm not a history buff. But what I'm saying is there's something within you that will allow you right now to have an idea. I'll give you an example of something I haven't done, and I could probably be a millionaire right now. So there is a hanger, and it's a plastic hanger, and it has a round thing like this, and it's wide. So when you wash your sweaters, you can take them out after 10 minutes, hang it on the sweater, and you won't get the bumps in it from your hangers. And they'll have nice shoulders. Okay, Tide used to make them. So I called Tide, and Tide doesn't make them anymore. And you used to buy them in the grocery store. My friend Tibby has a bunch of them, and she wouldn't part with them if you begged her. So then I decided to, Tide said they sold them all to Big Lots. Okay, so I went, every time I passed a Big Lots, into Big Lots, run through the hangers. Can't find them. Now, Joy, do you remember the movie Joy? Joy with her mop and her, yeah, so the floor was flooding and she's wringing out the mop and it doesn't work, so she gets a drawing board and starts drawing this mop that has the turn thing so that you don't have to put your hands in the water. So now God told me at least 6 years ago to write to Joy, tell her I have this really great thing. I can even be on QC. Can you see me? Be on the QC station developing. Here's how you do it. You take it out of the dryer. You do all this stuff. Okay, this is a great idea. Do you know how many times it's come through my head? Why haven't I written the letter? And this is my point. We get great ideas. And if I were in New York right now, I'd say idea. But we get great ideas. And so what rolls through your mind? What business could you start? How would you do it? How could you create a nonprofit, a volunteer thing that would serve? Serve, that's what we're here for. Give and receive love and to serve. Emerson says we can see the works of genius in our own discarded ideas. Yeah, we can. So, are you willing to do some of that? So, man makes holy what he believes. He makes beautiful what he loves. Man makes holy what he believes. Makes beautiful what he loves. Do you ever look at a couple and you have a great-looking female and a terribly not-so-great-looking guy and go, how the hell did they get together? I'm sorry, God. Sorry, God. Or vice versa. And then there's Annie and the big guy, and you go, how did they get together? Do you know what I'm saying? Man makes beautiful what he loves. Women make beautiful what they love. So are you willing to be in the rest of your life in regret? Are you willing to cry on your deathbed, this is what I should have done? I should have forgiven. I should have loved more. I should have worked less. I'm not anymore. Our job is to be an observer, and we need to stay attuned to what our souls want. What is it telling you? I challenge you this week to really spend some time. There was a guy on Good Morning CBS this morning on Sunday, and he was saying about meditation, and he was taking the pressure off of us to meditate. And he was saying that you don't have to sit on a mat with your legs crossed and say Om to be connected. Be connected with yourself. He was saying that gardening. He was saying that hiking, riding a bike, cooking. These are all soul connections, and we don't have to kill ourselves if we just can't get. Yesterday, Jackie was so hysterically funny. We were talking about what you do in the morning, and Jackie goes, look at my personality. I am not a meditator. and you could just see Jackie. And she wasn't in any stress over it. This is what I do, she said. And so we have to find our own paths. We have to find our own ways to do all that. I have so much more I want to say. God, there's just never enough time. But here's what I want to tell you. So there's this story. Let me find this really story. It's a funny story. And then, you know, when I was becoming a minister, I couldn't imagine how I could find anything to say every single Sunday. And now I have all this stuff, and it's too much, and I got to stop talking. But anyhow, I want to tell you this story. So there's this myth somewhere. Where's this myth? Okay, here it is. So there's this little myth, how if you're on the road to Athens and you pass Procrustes in his bed, I'm probably saying that wrong, all you people in here that are higher learned than me, and he would place you on his bed. And if you were too tall, he would cut off your feet. And if you were too short, he would put you on this stretching medieval thing until that you reached the ends of the bed. It was like a medieval rack thing. Okay. And so the story is about how we cut ourselves off from living and how we don't stretch far enough to be who and what we are. And that's what the myth is all about. So I'm asking you today to not allow others in your life to cut you off at the tracks. Don't let anyone cut your dreams off, your feet off. It's your path, it's your journey. And if people don't support it, then they're maybe not the right people to share that part of your life. Doesn't mean that you have to take everybody out of your life, but those who support you on your journey are the people that you need to share these moments with, not anybody else. So I want to say that let your heart break wide open today. That God within it'll shine so bright for the world to see. You're not separate from God. The first thing that you learn in religious science is heal the separation, heal your life. We're born, and up until age 5, we, prayerfully by 5, you still have it. You have that connectedness with your God, with your Creator. And then life starts to take that. And then we go through our life and we hit 40 or 50 and all of a sudden we say, who am I? And then begins heal the separation, heal your life, get back to the connectedness, come back into your soul for who and what you are. So morning has broken, and it's glorious indeed. And what I would like to say to you is, there is something so beautiful in each one of you. It's a gift. You were given it before you were born. Don't insult God. Don't insult your Creator. Don't insult yourself. Don't diminish yourself. Love, gratitude, forgive, and be that divine spark. And so ends the lesson.